Alright, hello. This is a ZRL Recon for round 5. We're doing the 2 bridges loop. Missed last week, but here doing it for round 5. We're doing the Team Electric Spirit race again. Once again, they've chosen combined categories, but we're in Watopia, so the simultaneous start puts the A's in a front pen. So we get a separate A race, unless some Bs can make it up to us. So they did this sort of same race in McCurry 2 weeks ago, and we were all in the same pen. So it was a full combined start. And this one, no Bs make it up to the A group. So here I'm just sitting at the back, going to ride onto a teammate. Hey, Joe. Chose the A group since this was a combined start. Might as well get the ranking points for racing the A's. Yeah, but here we're just sitting in, keeping it controlled. Try not to go too hard at the start. As always, there's this little rise right after the start. Sort of the first place where you go, how hard is this race going to be? Who's going to push it up this little hill? It will never be me. I just don't do those sorts of things. Don't want to be up the front. Ah, another person from America's West B Division 1. Yeah, we're heading into the S's. We do this course for 6 laps and the ZRL. This race is only 3 laps, so it's a little bit easier. And I don't even think we go for the sprint. That's what we're working towards next. We've got the bridge sprint after the hill. So yeah, just keeping it close through the S's. Not much is going on. The ZRL, probably a bigger group. As you can see from the mini-map, the B's and C's definitely sitting there in a big group, but you can only see 100 people, so that string is probably quite a bit longer. At least for them. I think there were only 50 or so A's in this group. Yeah, so at some point, we need to end up moving up a bit. You don't want to be at the front at the top of the hill, but want to be close to it. We've got some new music rather than the video game ambient music. We've got some The Word of Lauder. There we go. Yeah, want to pick up a little bit of speed before the hill, so I can move through the group. Be near the front at the top. At some point, other people will be pushing, and your avatar won't head all the way to the front as long as you don't push too hard. Add a little power if need be. Here would be perfect if we actually go for the sprint. I've got a good number of people to draft. I won't be behind too many people at the start of and competing for wheels at the start of the downhill. But yeah, here you just sort of really start the sprint right about here. Get that speed up for the entrance to the bridge. But in this case, no one sprints. Except for a few people once we hit the bridge. And for FTS points, that's way too late. Of course, in the ZRL, when you're lap 5 or 6, who's going to be going after the fast sprint times near the end of the race? Who knows? Maybe some people will still have some sprint legs and want to use them. Or if you've been dropped from the front group, it's definitely worth it to keep going after FTS points. Yeah, but here's definitely a recover section. You've hit that first sprint. It's a little bit flat. You want to make sure you're getting up to the front group, if that's your goal. And relaxing. So then we go into another little rise. So you can't sort of fully recover even after that sprint. And it's not a long, it's only a 14-minute course. We'll see what happens when we get to the finish line. It's not a super long course. Or I mean, it's just a 12-minute course, yeah. So here, you have to be on the power, even at the back of the group. Yeah, everyone should be a little bit fried from that sprint. So it shouldn't be hard to go over this, but it keeps you from recovering because you've got a bigger climb coming up next. Because even the A group lost a few people on that sprint. It's easy to get tail off the back if you don't go down the hill at the proper speed. Or if you were at the front of the group at the top of the... or onto the bridge, lose a lot of speed from the air resistance at the front of the group. You can go backwards pretty quickly. But yeah, now we're cover after that little hill. We're heading over the other bridge whose name I don't really remember. 360-degree bridge, I think that's it. I have a van, and I think the power-ups for the ZRL will be arrow, van, and feather. So all three of them actually useful. I know last week I binned half my power-ups. Yep, keep that recovery going. But here, at the moment I'm probably a little too far back for this climb. So while I'm recovering, I would also like to move up a little bit before we hit the really hard part of the climb. You don't want to compete for wheels in the hard parts. You either want to be moving forward or holding position. Going forward, it gets more difficult the more people you have around you. So here I drop my draft so that I can move up a little bit before it really gets hard. And I think I'm doing a little bit more power watts per kilogram wise compared to everyone else. So here I'm up, yeah, third, fourth, fifth wheel. Then you kick it through the hard part. Started at 7 minutes, so the real hard parts will be, 30 seconds. Here you want to stay close to anyone going off the front so that you can get under draft on the way down. Yeah, staying in front of that pack can be really useful up here. Yeah, almost 30 seconds from when it really gets hard. Still a little bit flat here, so you can't let off the power right away. And depending on what the group shape is, sometimes you can let off a little more than others. If someone's pushing, you still need to follow. And here's your super tug recovery point. I think you get like 20 seconds on the way down this. Now we're only 8 minutes into the laps, yeah, so the lap's only 9 minutes long. I was wrong with my 15 and my 12 thoughts earlier. But here, yeah, don't get spit out the back. If you hit the front right there at the end, you can lose a lot of speed if you're on the front when the gradient changes to flat. And the group is deciding to put it onto the flat. Yeah, but here's our finish straight. And here you're about 0.3 miles, so 1,000 meters. I mean, 300 meters. Getting my unit conversions all wrong. But here, solving the second lap, so I'm right where I want to be, right at the back. There's a bit of a group behind us chasing. There'll probably always be a little bit of group. If the group's behind is big enough, I think they'll catch quite often after that climb and descent. But if everyone stays in the front group, probably won't come back together. But yeah, I got a helmet somewhere in here. I'm holding it to the end. If this was the ZRL, probably be using it to go after sprint points. So on this time up the first part of the KOM reverse, I'm starting from a little further back. I don't have the draft to help me move up. I think I was a little bit more lackadaisical. Didn't think anyone would try too hard. But it is only a 3-lap race. Someone's gonna go a bit harder. And it's an A race, so there's a lot of people with extra power. They want to make other people hurt. So yeah, here I'm not third wheel, I'm 7th or 8th wheel. Or actually I'm at the back, so 20th, 30th wheel. So there's always going to be the group's always going to stretch a little bit. So when you have to make up the distance on the steeper parts, I sort of wasted effort. Should have moved up earlier. Yeah, so here I have to push over the crest to make sure that I'm up with the bigger group. I probably could have been a little more conservative because the people behind me all get in too. And if you look, there's a gap between me and a few stragglers. Or the group I'm in, a few stragglers. So it's pretty easy to get tailed off. Alright, in this race, we really didn't contest the sprint point, so I'll just skip forward again, just like the last time. Still have 22 people in the group, it looks like. Still got my arrow. So this one, I know people are going to hit it hard at the front. When we go over this, it's the last lap. You want to drop anyone you can. Hey, it looks like we're 30 seconds up on the front of the Bs. It's kind of fun. We all start at the same time. So yeah, here I'm moving up early. Oh, then I let off. I didn't want to go too far, but it looks like I'm just a little bit late. Everyone else hits it here. I stand up now. A number of people go by me. I'm at least in the group. But I think I could have done a little bit better there. Yeah, people in front aren't getting away, but it's requiring quite a bit of an effort. So just to get up to those front four, we're definitely the strongest four of the race. Yeah, but this ends up being a pretty large group here at the end. They're strung out, but there's no big gaps. And then recover, get your 20 seconds in. I mean, at the bottom of that hill, someone could attack. But we're still going pretty quick for anyone to stay off the front. So when we get down to this part where it goes back to 0 and the speed drops, if no one's pushing, it can drop. Speed can drop quite a bit. And someone can make the early flyer, go after the early flyer. In this race, no one really does. Because yeah, we're at 0.3 miles here. 500 meters. Down to 0.2 or 300 meters. Time to go. think I hit it a little bit late, but I don't. There's a number of people in front of me. But good speed. So close. Yep. Hey, second place in the A's. That's great. See you in the next one.